Greetings once again, my friends, and welcome. In this part of the DVD, we are going to look at hygiene and how important it is in the workplace. We have already mentioned that fruit grown on the farm is sold in supermarkets in South Africa and in other countries around the world. The way fruit is handled is therefore very important. The fruit that people buy in these supermarkets must look and taste good. It must also be safe to eat. Sometimes fruit can become contaminated or infected, and if it is eaten, it can make a person sick. How does fruit become contaminated or infected? There are different ways that this can happen. Let's have a look at some examples. Dirty water is used to wash the fruit before it is packed in the pack house. Too much chemical spray is used when spraying fruit while it is still on the trees. Or too many chemicals are put into the water that is used to rinse the fruit before it is packed. These chemicals stay on the fruit and can make the fruit unsafe to eat. Unhygienic practices when the fruit is handled. For example, touching fruit when your hands are dirty. Objects like pieces of glass, jewelry, plastic, or sand gets mixed up with the packed fruit. If germs get onto fresh fruit, they multiply, and when someone buys the fruit and eats it, they can get very sick. The most important way of making sure that fruit does not become contaminated is to practice good hygiene. What is good hygiene, and why is it so important? Good hygiene is important to protect fruit, but it is also an important way to protect ourselves and people around us from germs that can make us sick. Good hygiene means we must keep ourselves clean and healthy. We must keep the place where we live clean. We must keep the workplace clean. Let's have a closer look at these three aspects of hygiene. Personal hygiene is about keeping ourselves clean and healthy. To keep your body healthy, you must try to eat healthy food. For example, you should have fresh fruit and vegetables every day. If you are sick, you must visit the clinic to get medicine or help with your condition. The clinic can help you with illnesses like TB or HIV. If you have a problem with drugs or alcohol, you can also ask the sister at the clinic for help with this. Hygiene where we live. Good hygiene starts in the place where we live. If this place is dirty and unhygienic, it will also be full of germs. You can carry these germs with you when you go to work. These germs can make you sick, make the people you work with sick, and they can spread to the fruit you work with. What can we do to keep the place where we live clean? The living space where we eat and sleep must be cleaned regularly. Toilets must be kept clean. We need to use rubbish bins to throw away things like old food. Babies' nappies must be properly cleaned. It is important to wash our hands with soap and water after using the toilet, before eating and preparing food, or after changing nappies. Use water that is from a safe source or that has been purified. Water containers need to be kept covered to keep the water clean. Remember, chemical containers must never be used for food or water. Good hygiene in the workplace. If you are feeling sick, you must tell your supervisor so you can get treatment at work or be given time off to visit the clinic or the doctor. Don't start work if you are suffering from diarrhea or vomiting. You will spread your germs to other people or contaminate the fruit you work with. If you injure yourself while you are working, you must report your injury to your supervisor. Cuts must be covered with waterproof plasters so that they don't come into contact with fresh fruit. After the fruit has been picked, it is taken to the pack house. When the fruit is transported, workers are not allowed to sit in the same bin as the fruit. Dirty boots or clothing can contaminate the fruit. The containers or bins that carry the fruit must also be kept clean. When you arrive at work in the pack house, you must store your personal belongings in the lockers that are provided. No jewelry is allowed to be worn because it could blend in with the fruit or into the machines you are working with. All workers must have clean overalls and covering for their hair before they can enter the pack house. Your nails must be short and clean, and you must always wash your hands before you start working. Don't spit, cough, or sneeze over the fruit you are working with. Don't scratch your nose, hair, or your skin while you are working with fruit. Remember, you may only eat, drink, or smoke in areas that have been made available for this, and never close to the fruit you are working with. Both management and workers have a big responsibility to ensure that there is good hygiene in the workplace. Management must ensure workers have enough clean drinking water. There is a place where workers can wash their hands. There must also be soap and a towel or paper to dry your hands. There are enough clean toilets to use. There must also be toilet paper available. There are rubbish bins, and these bins must be emptied regularly. Workers are responsible for their own personal hygiene and for following the hygiene rules of the farm or pack house. So remember, as a worker you must keep your home and living space clean, keep your clothing clean, keep your body clean and healthy, know the hygiene rules of the workplace and follow the rules. Wear protective clothing when it is needed. If you are sick or have injured yourself on the job, you must report it to your supervisor. Know that hands are the most common way of spreading germs. Wash your hands after you have eaten food and after you have gone to the toilet. Always wash your hands before you start working with fruit. You must wash your hands in the correct way. In the DVD about health and safety, we looked at the different signs to warn workers about dangerous places. There must also be signs that tell you about facilities that are available to ensure good hygiene in the workplace. Make sure you understand what these signs mean. Let's have a quick look at some of these signs. Hand washing facilities, drinking water, rubbish bin, no smoking allowed, no eating or drinking allowed, toilets male and female, first aid. This completes our module about hygiene in the workplace. In the next part of this DVD, we are going to look at some of the documents and rules that are necessary when you work on a farm or in a pack house.